Greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is still doing well. Welcome back to tonight's bonus upload. Before we jump into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, channel membership, and the merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. Links to Patreon, PayPal, channel membership is in the description below. The merch is displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters, Volume 1 through 3, the audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeff Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, links to which are also in the description as well. And finally, last but definitely not least, if you'd really like to help support this channel to continue to grow and go, simply subscribe. It does not cost you a cent. Click that like button. Takes half a second. If you don't want to miss out on any of the informative uploads I put out daily, click that bell icon, and folks, please leave a comment. Why? Well, because all these things, they really do help this channel to continue to grow and go. And yes, folks, they definitely matter. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's jump into tonight's bonus, shall we? Now, I want to get into today's crazy upload, and there is video proof that the media does finagle things to work in their favor, and how they can have their narrative go a certain way. Dog attacks. Now, I would be honestly wearing an aluminum foil hat if I thought every dog attack that we hear about in the newspaper is cryptid related, or every animal attack at that. I said it before. I said like 30 to 40%, I believe, are cryptid related. In the media and the government work hand in hand, and manipulate with wording and this and that, money, payoffs, to get that narrative the way they want. These are all, and I'm not going to get into every single one. I'm just going to give you a brief description and then move on and go to the last one where there is video evidence of the media directing that narrative to go their own way. Now, we all know about the Corey Godsey case, the little boy in Knott County, Kentucky, who was attacked two and a half years ago. There are some channels out there that are making these videos out now, then people are thinking these are recent attacks. Well, they're not. These attacks have been going on for a very long time. Corey Godsey, I covered it when it happened. The poor little boy was savagely attacked, and well, it was cryptid related, and you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. He was dragged up a 300 to 400 foot cliffside and torn apart. Then you have Brenda Hamilton in North Carolina. So Godsey in Kentucky, Brenda Hamilton in North Carolina. Now, she's walking her dog like she does every day, walking with dogs in the neighborhood, and is savagely attacked, found in a ditch with water in there, a dead nutria right by her. The public outcry from that case, the community that she lived in, Beaufort County, North Carolina, Pantego, her community would not let her case get buried. They fought hard, and eventually they did bury it. Eventually the media and the government worked hand in hand, and, just let it play out. Let the public outcry be heard. And the media eventually just shut it down with the government's help. A sad case, a truly sad case. All of these cases are. So Corey Godsey, Brenda Hamilton, then Nancy Shaw. Very similar case to Brenda Hamilton. She was found in a ditch in Georgia. Her car door wide open on one side of the road. She's found on the other side of the road. The media, very similar with the government, local, state, and federal, played that case very similar to the Tony Aarons Amber Miller case, where they got a scapegoat. They literally had a scapegoat, and they pretty much just ran that guy right into the ground the best they could to make everybody believe they were responsible for it. Then Donald Allen was another case where he was dropped off on a road, dirt road, heading home, was savagely attacked, found in someone's front yard, ripped apart. What'd they say it was? Wild dogs. And you got the little boy. God, what's his name? Kiefer, I believe. Out of Creek County, Oklahoma. And the little boy I covered all of these cases too. It was insane when I first read about this, the day it happened. They look for this little boy, they can't find him. They kind of put like a missing persons thing out or whatever. The police end up coming, and the dad supposedly ran in the backyard. Neighbors heard noises out in the area, didn't want to respond or didn't know what to do, whatnot. Dad goes and checks the backyard. Dad comes back, doesn't see anything. Dad then goes out in the backyard with another officer, and the boy's body is there. And they blame a dog, which only weighed about 20 pounds. Like some sort of terrier Shih Tzu mix, I believe. I'm not going through files tonight to find it, but I'm just going off the top of my head with this. So, they really did a job on that one, because, it was insane how the case went down and how they played the public as idiots. You're telling me that the dad went out back, the dad came back, went back an hour, 20 minutes later, and with an officer, and then the body's found, and you're going to blame this little stray dog that showed no aggression prior on, you're going to blame this attack on this dog. The boy was 7. At 7 years old, a 20-pound dog would not mess me up. I would have kicked it hard. And I'm sure a lot of other 7-year-olds would as well. It might snap at your leg, but to take you down and tear you up, no. It makes no sense. And you know what I'm talking about. There's just all sorts of cases out there where the media and the government walk hand in hand to cover up some of the most savage attacks. And they have to cover them up because why? Well, people it's not just law enforcement that found it. Like with Nancy Shaw, law enforcement actually did find Nancy Shaw, the doctor in Georgia. Do you know how small the news article for her was when she was found? I believe it was 6 sentences. It was very short. And this was a doctor, a well-respected doctor in the community. It's insane. It's insane. So then, of course, you can move on to other accounts or other attacks that are not just dog, that are bear, and so on and so forth. The only thing that these cases have in common are they were all savagely attacked. The media painted a picture with the government's paint, and I'm not saying we, the public, Joe Public, bought it hook, line, and sinker. And it is unbelievable that, the media can paint that picture for us to see and really expect Joe Public to bite. And the majority of us do. A percentage of us don't, like myself and you guys out there that are listening to this. We don't buy into it. And this next case that I'm going to share with you with video evidence, and I'm being upfront with you, the video evidence, you are going to be lied to from TV by the news that we are supposed to trust. Growing up and when I was younger, I used to, trust the news, trust what they said, because that's how we were taught. Just like we were taught that these creatures don't exist. But things that we are taught aren't always true, is it? So this is the case that this upload is about. I want you guys to listen to this media, news media, the way I share it and the way it was written, as pretend you're Joe Public. All right, pretend you are the uneducated in this field, skeptic, believe everything any news platform will tell you, whether it's from the left or the right. Just you'll believe anything they tell you, because why? Because the news is bond, what they say. All right. And you will come out of, after I share this article with you, you will come out with one view, and then I will share the video clip with you, and that view that you once had will then be turned around, and you will see the truth. Once again, let's pretend we are Joe Public. Woman attacked and killed by her pit bull during walk in Canada. June 10th, 2020. A Canadian woman was killed when her pit bull mauled her during a walk after she'd left an even more dangerous dog at home, according to reports. The unidentified woman was first spotted dead in a ditch Tuesday morning in Nova Scotia when a teenage jogger came across the on-the-loose dog and feared it would attack her too before it fled, CBC states. Another neighbor, Giselle Parker, then arrived, telling the station the woman's injuries were rather extensive, and it was very apparent that she had passed away. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, immediately put out an alert for a tan and brown pit bull on the loose. Warning, stay indoors, do not approach, considered dangerous. The force later revealed that the dog died after being hit by a car more than an hour after the attack. Neighbors told the Chronicle Herald that they were shocked when they discovered which dog had killed the owner, because they assumed it would have been the second pit bull that they insisted was more threatening. When I found out that it was the dog, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it, a male neighbor said, claiming it previously attacked the owner. Honestly, the other dog was always a constant worry for myself when I'd leave the house to go to work, he said, worried about it attacking the animals or attacking my wife when she was out working. Those dogs were a focal point of her life, he said of his neighbor. I think she really tried to help the problem dog become a better dog. Police confirmed that the victim was walking her dog when it attacked her. Our thoughts are with the victim's family during this difficult time, the RCMP said. So with that picture painted by the media using the government's paints, that picture that we get is a poor woman was walking her dog, fearfully walking this dog, being cautious and feeling safer though, but still being fearful. But at least the mean one's home, right? Then this local teenager is running and sees this dog, and she is fearful that it's going to attack her. Yet she's running. But this dog that just attacked, air quotes, her owner does not chase after this jogger. Yet the male neighbor really paints it on good, doesn't he? It's a focal point of our lives. My wife is petrified while she's working in the flower garden. Come on. I mean, I can see, whatnot, but now you're kind of painting the victim as a bad person, bad pet owner, bad dog owner, She just lets her dogs. I mean, even though they didn't say it, but, why are you afraid if she let the dogs loose? Does she just jump over your fence and, bite your little dog and bite your cat, bite your wife in the ankle? No. Your wife is still planting flowers in her flower bed. Probably barks a little bit because she's probably annoying. But that's about it, But they just painted that picture good, didn't they? Really good. Now, the next article, but remember, she was walking her dog, but thankful that she left the mean one at home, but she was still worried about the one she was walking. Check this out. The next article paints a very similar picture, but a little different, using that same government paint. Dog that killed Nova Scotia owner had shown violent tendencies before. Documents. August 18th, 2020. Casswood, Nova Scotia. Documents obtained by CTV News revealed that a dog that killed its owner back in the spring had shown violent tendencies before, including an earlier attack. Megan Milner's death in Nova Scotia's Musquodoboit Valley made headlines across the country. There were no witnesses to the actual attack on June 9th, but a passing jogger had seen Milner sitting with a large animal in the ditch a short time earlier. Milner's body was later found at the scene, prompting police to issue a warning about a dangerous dog on the loose. After hearing the news, a local resident reportedly ran down the dog in his vehicle, killing the animal. An autopsy confirmed that Miller had died as a result of injuries caused by the dog. Athletic and outdoorsy, Milner had a range of interests, including an audition for a documentary fighting series about a decade ago. Friends, though, say her pit bulls were the great love of her life. The female was a gentle giant, the male another story. Redacted documents obtained by CTV News under an access to information request reveal a couple of unsettling incidents, including an attack on another dog at the off-leash park in 2017. The report says it took 6 people to separate them. In November 2018, police and ambulances were dispatched to the property after a woman was attacked by the dog. Both animals wound up in the pound, but the owner picked them up the next day. After Milner's death, the female dog wound up back in the pound, but she's getting a second chance at a new life. The other dog that was residing in the residence was a lovely dog, said Joanne Landsberg of Nova Scotia's SPCA. There were no issues with this particular dog, and she was successfully rehomed with a new owner's knowledge about where she had come from. We understand she's doing wonderfully, and we wish her the best. The SPCA has 16 contracts around Nova Scotia for animal control, but local bylaws are different. In some areas, officers have the right to order a dangerous dog euthanized. In HRM, the SPCA does not have the contract for that, so it would have been up to the officers in charge. But I do believe they have to go through a court process to have a dog euthanized in HRM, said Landsberg. Police closed the file on the case just 2 weeks later, saying there was no criminal intent associated with the death of the dog. Milner's unwavering love and loyalty to her animals was intact to the end. Her mother, Kathy, said she since learned of previous incidents involving the male dog and that friends had even urged Milner to surrender him. She said to be considering that, but kept putting it off. Kathy Milner says she wishes her daughter would have followed through. Much different picture, but very, very similar. Why now? Why? Well, the dog at the first article, the dog at home was the violent one, the one that everyone feared. Yet, she was rehomed and doing wonderfully and had no issues. The dog she was walking, supposedly, was the good dog, the one with less problems. My thing is why didn't this dog attack the jogger who was running? It already ran by, the female jogger ran by them once as they were sitting in a ditch. Ran by them once. So if this dog was violent or had that rage, it would have snapped probably. I mean, dogs just chase after things. They don't even have to be a mean dog. They like to chase after things. It's in their nature. They're dogs. But this dog didn't. Yet, it was the less likely to attack, but in this article, it was the worst of all. Makes no sense. Two different paintings painted with the same paint with two different meanings. Makes no sense to me. But here is where things kind of get confusing. Things kind of clear up for us. Just watch this and you'll see why.
Puppy to doggy daycare so it could learn to socialize when she came upon the scene. A car parked on the side of the road, a dog in the distance standing on the yellow line, and a young girl waving her over.
And she said, "There's a lady laying in the ditch." And I said, "What?" She said, "I think she's dead."
That girl was 15-year-old Kiana Borden, out for a morning jog. She ran past the woman and her dog, and everything seemed fine. But when she returned,
I go to step over, and the dog, comes at me. And I'm telling him to, back down because there's no, I'm not going to hurt him. And then I see the woman in the ditch.
She called 911. Multiple witnesses, including police officers, described the dog as a pit bull, but the RCMP says it cannot confirm the breed.
It was quite scary. He was very on guard and protective, but he seemed kind of nice. Like he didn't want to hurt me, but he knew that there was something wrong.
Parker encouraged police to alert the public, which they did.
Obviously, I felt very bad that this was this woman's fate, but I didn't want anybody any further getting injured.
While Parker was still at the scene, the dog was still on the loose, and it was near her home here on this dirt road that the animal was struck by a car and killed.
When I drove up the McFettridge Road, I saw it, and I seen the pit bull. I knew it was the dog instantly, and I didn't concern myself. I took care of the dog, and it was quick.
Mark Taylor heard the news and says killing the dog was the right thing to do.
It could have hurt someone else, and people's lives are more important than the dog's life.
Police say their investigation continues. The witnesses say they are thinking of the victim's family during this very difficult time. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, Chatswood, Nova Scotia.
So now, the two pictures that were painted previously are a little different. Not a little different, a lot different. Now, from the young jogger, 15-year-old jogger, everything was fine prior when she ran by. They're just sitting there, probably relaxing. Then she comes back through. Dog's kind of standing in the roadway, being protective. She goes over to see what's going on, and the dog kind of comes at her, being protective, not combatant, but protective of her owner. It's confused. The girl then says, "Back down, I'm not going to hurt you." And it does. It does. A dog that has just attacked somebody is not going to just calm down and listen to a stranger, especially if after it's just killed its owner. How she explains the dog was protective and on guard, but kind of nice, but knew something was wrong. Kind of nice. And then it just took off running away from her. Yet it was protective. She runs by the first time and the dog is fine. She comes back through and the dog is now protective. The dog's scared, is what it is. If you look at the woods in the area where she was, look right in the ditch. I will show you on the map where this woman was taken. And if this poor dog, just like the one in Tennessee, had to witness their owner be savagely attacked by a 7 to 8 foot tall Dogman, what do you think any dog's going to act like? Just because it's a pit bull, it's got a bad rap, just like Rottweilers and Doberman Pinschers and German Shepherds. Pretty soon, it's going to be your Bigadoo or whatever the heck you want to call them next. Then, if you notice, the news paints that picture. They want to paint that picture. Why? Because that 15-year-old jogger kind of messed up that picture. She kind of used red paint when it called for yellow. Not using red as blood, but just figure of speech. So, how did the news paint it, Jeff? How did they paint it at the end bad? Well, because now that dog is heading towards the Parker residence. And she's on scene. Now it's running towards her house and it's going to get her kids. It's not even near her house. But yet that news wants us to believe that it's going towards Parker's house and it's hunting her kids and her family down, doesn't it? That's how it sounds to me. So this is a map of where she disappeared. Muscadabit is right here. Chaswood is right over here. She disappeared, or excuse me, attacked. She was attacked on McFetrich Road, right in this area here. Do you see what I see? I see nothing but trees. I see nothing but a prime location for Dogman. All within this area. If you ask me, that young jogger was very, very lucky to still be alive as well. But then you've got Joe Public Hero mowing down an innocent dog, and it was fast. What a jerk. Now, the main thing here is there was a tragedy that happened. Someone lost their life. Like the other attacks, people lose their lives. Tony Aarons, Amber Miller, Brenda Hamilton, Corey Godsey, Ducky Allen. Just keeps going. But yet, we will never get the truth. The picture is painted by the media using the local, state, and federal government paint. Joe Public, we are supposed to just sit and take the news that they give us, accept it for what they tell us it is, and move on. But once someone questions that statement that news team makes, that painting that is painted so perfectly, yet there are holes seen, paint missing, splotches everywhere. When someone questions it, then we are labeled crazy. We are labeled conspiracy theorists, or truth seekers, as I like to call us. Alright folks, I hope you all enjoyed this bonus as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Wow, what a day. My dad is not getting any better. He is getting worse. I'm actually uploading from my laptop in my car from the hospital. And I'm going to be hopefully home soon so I can get something to eat and take care of my kids. Man, I'll talk to you guys in the live stream about what's going on with everything tomorrow. But I want to let everyone know, with your prayers and well wishes, it is truly appreciated by myself and my mom. Pups7 sent my mom a prayer shawl. My mom broke down crying. You guys really are awesome. So thank you so much. Please everyone, stay safe, happy, healthy, and ever vigilant, keeping an eye on our children, our pets, our family, and friends. These creatures are real, they are out there, and they are dangerous. If we share just a little bit of information with the people that we love and care about, it may just save their life someday. Guys, thank you once again, and God bless you all.